Cam Young, another episode of BOG. Cheers to the victory. Long awaited. We had a lot of patience. Fourth year on the tour. One of the most talented guys out there, and he got it done. I mean, it's as simple as that. He finally got it done. We're very happy about it, and we're gonna take time to celebrate. Probably celebrate more than Cameron's gonna celebrate. We're back. I say we're back to even, with Mr. Cam Young's journey.
If you threw 100 on Cam for every tournament he's played, you're down 3,200 still.
Yeah, but we cashed out some. He was close.
Yeah,
We did well.
I saw a
But
post.
we're here. We did it. Cam Young is victorious at what was the course? Sedgefield Country Club.
Sedgefield.
Sedgefield Country Club at the Wyndham. Last regular season event of the year. Cam Young pulled it off. Completely changed outlook of this season in terms of pretty much locked in for the Tour Championship at 16th. Ryder Cup is ahead of him. He can finish strong in the playoffs. He's tailor made for Bethpage Black. I mean,
Our course record holder at what was it, 64 when he was an amateur, and then obviously Brooks broke it in the PGA.
yeah, State Open. He was, I think, 18 or 19. Shot 64 in the last round to win the State Open there. So we've got a lot of good memories there, a lot of good history. And he's played it plenty of times. We used to play it, humble brag, we used to play it together in the New York State Federation Championship. So it's top six from the Catholic League would get in there. It was always Cam, finished first for all 4 years at the Catholic League States. Top six get into federations. And he won that every year as well. So he knows Bethpage Black. He's played a lot of competitive golf there. But let's not even talk about the Ryder Cup. Let's just sit in this victory, be happy about it. We're going to talk, obviously, about Cam's victory. We're going to talk coming up this week. We got the first playoff event, break down TPC Southwind, and then get into our picks for the St. Jude.
Yeah, I mean, I just to get into the week a little bit, Cam obviously dominated, I'd say, from his back nine Thursday. So his back going into the back nine Thursday, he was two under. He bogeyed the first hole to get to one under through 11. And then the next 25 holes up until the end of the second round, he shot 14 under with, I believe it was 14 birdies, zero bogeys, which is pretty much flawless golf, and essentially dominated the tournament from there. He was up eight on Friday at one point, finished up, what was it, five going into Sunday?
He was five up going to the Sunday. He was up
Yeah.
four after the first hole.
Four after the first hole. Obviously, maybe got a little close there because he bogeyed, but we know what happened next. He made six birdies the next six holes and just essentially completely shut the tournament down. And it was, just his at that point, regardless of anything that happened after that. And I've been waiting ever since I started getting into golf, betting golf, for this to happen. So it's been a long time coming. I know a lot of other guys I saw next have been waiting for this moment as well. This guy, PJ Clark, had a Mr. 1000 shirt made with Cam as the one, and it was his swing at like for 1,000. It was pretty great. Looking to purchase that. But I mean, just great win. Obviously, I think he has a chance to maybe get on a little bit of a run here and hopefully make a run at Bethpage.
Yeah, I mean, it was a special week. The first nine holes, he was hitting it great. He was two under. Then he bogeys 10 in round
Three
one,
jacks.
three jack. His putting was not there, which it has been for a majority of the
And
year.
then he found it.
And then he found it. We were texting after 10, 11 holes. I sent John a text. I'm like, the guy just can't score. I mean,
Yeah.
he's either hitting it great, can't putt, can't hit it, and can putt. He hasn't found that middle ground where he's, solid throughout the bag, and it happened. I mean, he finished six under his last seven on Thursday,
Yeah.
and he turned it around right
Never
there.
looked back.
Never looked back. Friday was a great round of golf. Finally got to watch a couple of his shots on Friday. Thursday we didn't get to watch one single shot
Of
of
the
Cam
six
Young.
birdies and seven holes, didn't show a single
Didn't
shot.
show.
It was pretty disgusting.
Yeah, and then Friday we got to watch some of it, and then the weekend was all about Cam Young. Finally, I mean, it was his event. It was his to lose, and he really just stepped up and did what he had to do. So, it was a special week. I get to officially say I beat a PGA Tour winner in a round of golf, which I will forever remember and forever tell everybody. So I'm happy for Cam.
Yeah. And then a couple things just quick while we're still on Cam and the Wyndham, couple things I want to note. So I mean, obviously his putting is completely transformed this year. It's gone from pretty much the worst you can get on tour to being a top six putter now. He was 158th in 2023, 145th in 2024, and now he's sixth in strokes gained putting. So, I mean, really, with solely that, if he can continue to find this ball striking that we've seen occasionally now, right? We saw it at the RBC Canadian Open, we saw it at the US Open a little bit, and then, clearly we saw it here. He was third in tee to green for strokes gained this week. And if he could find that again consistently, because that's what we've known him as coming into this year, an elite ball striker, if he gets that back and the putting can stay, obviously six, maybe that's not too realistic, but if he could stay that top 20 on tour for moving forward and he gets that ball striking back, he's going to be, one of those guys that's, I don't want to say he's able to threaten Scotty here and there in these events that some of these other guys aren't, but he's going to be one of the best players on tour again if that all comes to be.
No, I've been telling him, my dad, since his Corn Fair days, Cam Young is a top five talent in the world. There's no if, and, or buts about it. This week he finally committed to the draw. He said, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna try and play the perfect shot on every hole and hit the little fade, hit the little draw, hit the hook, hit the slice. Just play the draw. He had a lot of hybrids off the tee, which was great to see. I was worried a lot of the Sunday, I was just worried about that hybrid just snap hooking, which is the miss with the hybrid. He had one of those, most of them, he just hit a high floaty, right edge of the fairway sort of shot,
Yeah.
which is absolutely perfect with the hybrid. So we've really waited a long time for this. He's well overdue for his win, and it now opens the floodgates, as everyone's saying, where the talent, how good he is. And it's really just a matter of time before he knocks off a couple more wins. And we know how well he plays in majors, so he's going to win a couple majors coming up soon as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to add too much more. We've talked about him for a while now. So great win for Cam. We're obviously very nice to get also our eighth win of the year on the channel, and hopefully get a couple more in the playoffs. See if you can pluck any off.
Yeah. So just before we continue, this setup behind Dice right here, he's a fraud, for a better lack of, for a better word. That's my all four trophies, five trophies across the top. Actually, four of the five are mine. John has one member guest win. That middle one is the Carter Cup, couple club championships, another junior event. So Johnny Dice is a good golfer, more of a baseball player though.
Yeah. I never claimed they're mine. I just want to put that out there.
All right, so this week we got the St. Jude, TPC Southwind. They've been playing at this course for a while now. It's honestly it's a pretty challenging track. They'll usually get to, I think, like 15 to 18 under in that range, but it tests you tee to green. It's a course where length is not that important. You got to hit fairways similar to the Wyndham, with that Bermuda rough, right? You got to be playing from the fairways, control the spin, control the flight. When you're in that Bermuda rough, it's tough to control. It's all guesswork. And a lot of times, you're not catching it flush and you're kind of just short, or if you land it on the green, it's bouncing through the back. So you got to be in the fairways this week, which is, really the same thing as last week that we talked about.
Yeah, I mean it seems like a pretty gettable course. Like Bobby said, if you're in the fairways, you're going to be able to attack some of these flags. The scores do get within that. I think Hideki was 17 under last year. Glover was 15 under the year before, and Zalatoris was 15 under the year before. Glover won in a playoff versus Cantley, and then I think Zalatoris beat Straka in a playoff. But I mean, overall, I think this week, again, somewhat similar to last week because the Bermuda rough that we had last week. I want guys that keep it in the fairway. And then just a matter of, hopefully finding a hot putter, capitalizing on those 10 to 15 footers you're going to have consistently. And, sort of just, get a good wedge week as well, which, most of these guys are going to have, again, if you're hitting those fairways.
I completely guessed 15 to 18 too. That was a pretty good guess there for the winning score. But you can tell with Hideki, right? Zalatoris, Glover, it's a ball striker's golf course. It's, the putters got it for them. They had good putting weeks, obviously, but those are guys that hit a lot of greens, right? Hit it to 15 to 25 feet for most of the week, and just need a couple putts to drop every round to get to 4 or 5 under a round. And that's really the math there to get that winning score. But 15 under for these guys that's a tough golf course.
Yeah, it is, honestly.
That's a tough golf course. It's not easy for for a majority of the field, you probably got T10 is, under 10 under par. So
It's a tough around the green course too, I saw.
yeah. Yeah, the Bermuda grass is not easy to chip out of. Same reason it's hard to control the spin, right? You don't know exactly how it's going to react when it lands on the green. Um, but we'll have our picks. We'll talk strategy on the course and whatnot, but emphasis on ball striking, right? Especially off the tee, like I was talking about. You're still going to have a lot of wedges in if you are hitting your driver well. Um, but one thing I want to talk about was and that's a lot of the core stuff, but we wanted to talk about the PGA Tour changing the setup for the playoffs. Rory's not playing this week, right? And thankfully that's the only guy
Yeah.
really in the top 70. But there's really no need for guys in the top 15 to 18 people in the field to play this week, except for most guys aren't going to turn down a $20 million purse, right? 4.5 million to the winner. But guys at the top of the world of golf, that doesn't mean anything to them, right? So, there are going to be guys over the next couple of years if they keep in this format that won't be playing all the playoff events because East Lake now there's not staggered scoring. So, if everyone's gonna start it even, have the same chance to win the tour championship, there's really no upside to playing this week, especially. Most will play next week to get ready for the tour championship, but to play this week,
It's brutal in Memphis at this time of
so
year.
these guys don't like playing 3 weeks in a row. Most of them, right? They've gotten accustomed to playing every other week, every 3 weeks, every once in a while, back to back. Right? You got a couple majors with elevated events on the backside, but that's where we're at. That's the event this week, and we'll go ahead and get into our picks now.
All right, so I'll go first with
I got to look at the odds because I haven't looked yet.
getting into the picks here. So my first guy, I'm gonna go back to a guy I've gone to a decent amount this year. I'm gonna start off with Straka. He's at 35 to 1 on DraftKings, but he's at 40 to 1 on FanDuel. And Straka's somewhat struggled a little bit the last quarter of the year, I'd say. I lost his swing a little bit, it seems like, in terms of just those shots gained off the tee and approach numbers. But I do think, heading into the playoffs, he's obviously coming off the best season of his career, and I'm sure he wants to close it out strong. And I think that's, plucking off one of these events. And he's had success here already. Lost to Zalatoris in a playoff, so he knows how to get to that winning number you need to. Just didn't close it out that one year. But I just think, obviously, different mindset, I'd say, coming into this year, a much improved player. And his game, he's accurate off the tee when he's right. He's one of the best iron players on tour, and he could also catch a hot putter with the best of them. So I think, again, at 40 to 1, we're getting a really solid number for one of the best players on tour this year when he's right. And, I'll take that chance to the course he's had success at in the past.
Yeah, Straka, this is a course that fits his game for sure, right? He's accurate off the tee,
Yeah.
great iron player, and his putters, it's been pretty good this year, so I like that. I got Xander. I've gone to him probably 4 or 5 times this year. I'm going back to him, right? Coming off two top tens at the Scottish and then the Open. His ball striking's fully back. I mean, that last round of the Open Championship, he was flushing the ball, could not make a putt to save his life. And that's just a matter of time before that turns around, right? I mean, Xander's been a great putter for years now. He has not found it this year after his injury. So I think he's been off for 2 or 3 weeks now
Yeah.
where, I think he's probably worked very hard on that. He doesn't share much of what he's doing. But Xander at 16 to 1, right? We got Scotty plus 280. Xander's the next odds at 16 to 1. So Xander or Scotty has an 8 times better chance to win than anybody else in the field. So I got Xander 16 to 1. His ball striking is there. His chipping has gotten back to decent, right, for his standards. And now it's just a matter of time. If he has a decent putting week, he'll be able to get back in contention.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's shown flashes of everything. It's just a matter of all, coming back together like he was accustomed to last year. And, obviously he's a player that I'm sure doesn't want to go a whole season without a win after the year he's had last year. So I like that.
Cheers to Camion.
Hang on again. And then, so my second guy, are you going with him too? Yeah.
Cam, of
Yeah.
course.
All right. So
I
yeah,
didn't pick him last week out of respect, so this would happen. And look, it worked out
yeah.
great.
So we're going with Cam Young again. He's at 40 to 1. And obviously we saw what we saw last week, right? He found something with the ball striking. He had a new Pro V in the bag that really seemed to maybe he controlled it a little bit better, whatever it is, but he found something with it. And then, like Bobby said, he went straight to a draw ball flight, which really, we saw some very solid results in those ball striking numbers from last week, being third in tee to green. And then putting, he's had it all year. He's sixth on the tour, as we said before, but he also was first last week, and that was also on Bermuda surfaces. So all that, he's a player that, obviously he's not going to get too worked up with a win. It looked like he was literally going to do nothing that night, come straight over to this tournament, see his family, and get right into it. And that's obviously something that could work to his benefit of hopefully going back to back. And he has that goal of the Ryder Cup. He said it openly now. He wants to close the year strong. And if he wins back to back and now with the field with all the best players in the world, that's almost solidifying himself in my opinion. So 40 to 1, I love that number.
Cam Young. I mean, that's all you got to say. Guy's got the talent. Floodgates are open. It's his time.
Yep.
All right, my second pick, I got Victor Hovland, 35 to 1. Top five here last year, right? He's a very, very solid golfer throughout the bag. US Open, he played great golf, had a good chance to win. I just like where his game is at overall. He's starting to chip and pitch the ball a little bit better, have a little bit more control, a little more consistency in that area. So I like Victor Hovland this week, 35 to 1. Good course history, trending in the right direction. And he's just a talented golfer overall. So I like where he's at. I like where, he's been in the playoffs, right? He won the FedEx Cup a couple years ago, decided to change his swing, had a couple down, about a year and a half down, right? The second half of this year since the Valspar has been very good. So now he's back. Playoffs are these courses he feels very comfortable at. I got Victor Hovland 35 to 1.
Yeah, I mean Vic's ball striking's basically been completely back for a couple months now. I wouldn't say ever since the Valspar, he still had a little bit to go after even he won a tournament, but I'd say the last like month and a half or so, it feels like he's really found it fully every tournament he's been in. It just he hasn't really put it all together with the putter yet. So I definitely like that play. I think Vic's probably gonna pull off another one soon if he can get the putter to match up. And then so my third guy, I'm gonna go with JJ Spawn this week, and that's a guy I've never been on. It's not usually just one of those names I prefer to be on, but I do think at the course that fits him, right? You got to be accurate off the tee with the Bermuda rough. You don't want to be in there much. It's just too many variables that go into each one of those shots, it feels like. And then, he's also a very good iron player. So if he can, again, find that ball striking form that we saw from him several times this year, and obviously when he won the U.S. Open, I think it should be a good fit. And similar to Strep, he's coming off his set. He's coming off his best year ever, and probably wants to finish it strong and maybe pull off another win to really put the proper finish to the year for himself. So I like that at 50 to 1 for JJ Spawn.
Yeah, another good course fit, right? Like you said, similar to Seth. Good driver, consistent driver, solid iron player. And it's just winning golf tournaments is tough, right? So these picks, we've got 8 on the year somehow, thanks to dice, but it's a tough thing to do. So we got Spawn. What was it, 55?
No, 50.
50 to 1. These odds are terrible,
They're awful.
terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, Jake Knapp 65 to 1 day.
They're all none of the guys that should be above 100 to 1
So what? You have one more?
I'm gonna do one more.
All right, I'm gonna give 2 long shots here. I like Justin Rose. All right, 100 to 1. And I like Chris Kirk 100 to 1. Two guys that ultimate grinders, right? If they get in contention, they got a good knack for where they're at and how to get to the top of the leaderboard. Kirk has been playing great golf the last couple months, or really the last month, I would say. And he's a very streaky golfer, so I like where his game is at. If he can get a win like this, that would really that would change a career in terms of getting a playoff win, right? Locking himself into everything for next year, obviously getting himself into the tour championship and whatnot. So I like Kirk. Justin Rose needs a good tournament. I mean, he's more than likely going to be on the Ryder Cup team, but he's been very hit or miss this year. I mean, a lot of missed cuts, couple good finishes, obviously, right? In big events, Masters, he lost to Rory in the playoff. He played well in what was his other tournament he played well?
Is that it this
We'll
year?
look. Nah, there was another one, but we'll find that out. But I like his odds at 100 to 1, given that he's below guys like Graysterman and Pendrith and
Yeah.
McCarthy and Akshay. Right, I love Akshay's game, but
He's struggling.
he's struggling. Right, I mean, especially after that four
With
over
Brew,
final round a couple weeks ago. So I like Kirk. I like Justin Rose. Both long shots, 100 to 1. Put $10 on them. Decent chance one of them will, at least come the weekend have a chance to win.
like I said, decent chance one of them wins. Just like almost a guarantee. But
No,
all right, so my fourth guy, my last guy, I'm gonna go with. Actually, I'm gonna keep the card at three. I don't want to add
pick
this
one
last.
more.
It's just there's no good. There's really no good numbers here. Like I like JT Poston this week. I saw some flash from him last week, and I think he's also a good course fit. So JT Poston will be the last play. He's at what's he on FanDuel?
JT Poston is where is he below here?
No, it's like 70.
JT Poston. Oh, he's at 50
50?
on FanDuel.
Oh my God. All right. He's 60, he's plus 6,500 on DraftKings. So we'll go with JT Poston. Just played better last week. He's definitely hasn't had the best year. We know he's a very good putter when he gets going, but if he could continue to find the ball striking that we saw some of last week, I think he could have a shot. I do wish it was a better number, but these smaller fields, they really cut them down a decent amount with these odds. So I'll take it at 70 to 1 for my last play.
Yeah, so that's the picks this week. TPC Southwind, first round of the playoffs. It's a good time of the year for golf. I mean, I wish it wasn't starting this early, the playoffs, right? We got 3 weeks left, 3 week break after that, right, to the Ryder Cup. Um, and that's the conversation, an important and a fun conversation is who's going to be on the Ryder Cup, right? And all I know is Cam Young better be on the Ryder Cup because
Plays good a couple more weeks.
if he plays good the rest of the time,
You have to.
you have to, right? We got how many locks we got? We got Scotty, Xander, we got JT, we got
Spawn.
Spawn, Harris English is a lock at this point.
Harris English is a lot.
Number 6 in that top 6 is
JT.
no, I
JT's a
said
lot.
JT. All right, so we got Scotty.
Mason. Russell.
Okay, yeah. So we got Scotty, Xander, Spawn, Russell, Bryson, Harmon. That's the top
No.
6.
Harris.
Harmon, Harris. Then we got JT's a lock. All right. Then it comes to
Some things Collins a lot.
I guess Collins a lock just because he's top 10 in the world. His game is terrible right now. I do not want him playing for any sort of important point on Sunday. All right, so that's 7. Oh, no, that's 8.
Yeah.
Collins 8.
Then you got into 4 that are, some say Keegan's almost a lock.
I would say Keegan's a lock. I would. Keegan's a lock.
But I don't, if he doesn't play well the last 3 weeks, I don't know if he'll pick himself.
Ben Griffin, right? He's not a lock, but he's again T11 last week. He continues to solidify himself. Then we got McNeely, who has played like shit. Harmon, who's very inconsistent. Novak, get out of here. Cantley,
Some like Cantley.
So I would take Cantley, Young, and Goddard up the last 3. So my 12.
I think Burns has a shot if he plays well.
Of course, yeah, he's got a shot. He loves this. By the way, Sam Burns loves TPC Southwind. I think he's won here. He's lost. He's just played great golf around here.
Wyndham, I think, could sneak in if he wins.
He could, yeah.
But that's it.
But so let go up top. Let me get my 12. I got Scotty, Xander, Spawn, Russell. Right, Russell's played great. Bryson, Harris English. That's 6. JT 7. Morikawa is 8. As much as I hate to say it, Keegan 9. Then I'm going Cam Young 10, Goddard up 11, Cantley 12. Cantley, his putting has been terrible. He has not been the Cantley that we know, but he's played great in these events. He's still 14th on the list, so he's not been playing terrible. But those are my 12. You agree? You changing anyone?
I agree. I mean,
I know you don't want Colin on the team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him, but I think he's going to be on it. He's still the 6th ranked player in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Goddard and Cam together, both
I
MGA
do still
players.
think Goddard has to show form the last, at least somewhat the last 3 weeks, and then get one of those picks. But there's really a lot of like I think Burns can sneak in if he plays well. I think. Hmm. I mean, it's like if Maverick wins an event, he might sneak into the top six.
He's not winning an event.
I know. I just mean it. Just there's so many variables that could still happen.
Of course, there's plenty. And Burns, he's on Scotty's piece, so that helps his
Exactly. If like
chances.
he gets a second in one of these, like
All right, so that's another episode of BOG. Cam Young, victorious. We love you.
back to back.
We've been your biggest supporter since day one. We were boys at one point, Cam. Don't forget that. And we'll see you guys next time.